All right, guys. So we're gonna talk about video prospecting today. Super excited to be here with Tyler. And the crazy story about this is that the first video I ever sent out as an SDR was through Vidyard, and they gave me early access to the platform. So it's cool that this is coming full circle. I was doing this back in 2015, 2016. So it's cool that now this is becoming a thing that people want to learn more about, and I've known Tyler for years. And so we're really going to dive into what you can be doing today to get success in video. We're going to get some tactical things to do. We're going to go into why the psychology of people, why they watch the videos, so you guys can get some results here. So as we're here, Tyler, if you want to introduce yourself, I'll introduce myself real quick, and then we'll get right into the content.
Fantastic. So yeah, thanks, man, for having me. And to your point, we've known each other for quite some time since you were a very early user of Vidyard's video tools. So to introduce myself, I'm VP Marketing here at Vidyard. I've been at Vidyard for just over 6 years now, and I've spent that entire time living in this world of video, video for marketing, video for selling, video for internal communications, all things video and business. So needless to say, it's exciting to see right now that video is an expected medium. Like, we're all using it. We're all on all the time. We all have webcams, and there's just really no excuse to not be using it more strategically throughout your program. So I'm super excited to talk about that, and specifically what we're seeing in the world of sales.
Absolutely. And if you guys have been on the webinar before, or you're new with the JV sales team, director of sales, execution evolution, focusing more on the prospecting side. So I personally have I sent over 1,000 videos when I was an SDR at Vidyard, and then in my career, easily have sent over 50,000 videos. So all this is coming from my own experience sending videos, and also how we work with reps across the board. And just as you all are prospecting and trying to find net new conversations, just as you're trying to use video to overcome objections in your sales cycle, I'm doing the same thing as you all. So we're going to get super tactical today, make sure that's relevant for all of you, and that you guys can walk away with some things to do. But before we do into that, we got to shout out the sponsors. Shout out to SalesOff, been a long-time sponsor of make sure these webinars are possible. Shout out to Gong. Shout out to VanillaSoft. And then just recently, shout out to Vidyard, now a sponsor. So we got Tyler here representing on the Vidyard side. But again, thanks to our sponsors. They make these webinars possible. They allow us to do things that are unique and fun, just like you saw that Drake video. So again, shout out to them. Now let's get into it. So a lot of you on this webinar right now are trying to figure out, why video, why now? So you guys may have seen a post from John, and it talked about fake empathy and real empathy. Video allows you to have real empathy. So for some of you who are taking notes right now, I'd write this down, because if you understand this concept, it makes everything a lot easier. 7, 38, 55. 7% spoken word, 38% is voice and tone, 55% is body language. And that all comes from the elements of personal communication. So 7% is a spoken word. It's what you say. It's when you type out an email. 38% is voice and tone, and 55% is body language. And so because of that, you want to make sure we can have the communication that's 100% instead of just 7% or 38%. And so a video allows you to communicate all the way through, show real empathy, or as Chris Voss calls it, tactical empathy, so they can understand where you're coming from and relate to them. If Tyler and I turned off our videos right now and it was just voice, a lot of you guys would be like, see ya, you would probably leave. But now that you see us, you can relate to us a lot easier. And I read this stat, it was crazy. When people watch video, they retain 95% of the information. When they get a text, it's up to 5% retention. And that's a study. I can send it to you guys. And I thought that was crazy. And that's why video is important now, because email responses are going low. A lot of people are having automation tools that, again, are just sending out emails like Marketo's and Eloquos, et cetera. And video stands out because it's different. I don't know, Tyler, I saw this stat through Vidyard because I was doing a video presentation last week with Europe, and we were talking about video. So I want you to dive a little bit more on the stat, because I thought it was great when Yusuf was talking about it on your side.
Yeah, I mean, the stats overall related to the use of video are pretty insane, frankly, right now. The stat you see on the screen there is actually from Cisco, who of course runs all the routers of the internet, and they actually track every year. They have a report on the state of the internet. And when I first started reading that report 5 years ago, it was roughly 60% or so of all internet traffic was video content. And now today it's over 80%. Over 80% of all internet traffic is video content. Now, granted, sure, that's Netflix, that's YouTube, that's a whole ton of that kind of content. But the reality is not only is a growing percentage of it business related, but the more important takeaway from that is in our lives, in our personal lives, in our business lives, video is an expected medium, right? That is what we're consuming most frequently in our personal lives. And just like everything else in business, what starts in our personal lives weaves its way in, right? When we started using social, we started using, cell phones, all those kinds of things weave their way in. And I fundamentally believe that, video is one of these next big waves where, we just all expect to be able to do it. And it means that it's got to change the way that we act as marketers and sellers.
Absolutely. And that last point, right? 1/3 of people are now watching video more than ever and ever. Just the Tyler says, a lot of people are sitting at home. They're able to watch it and they're not running around, and easier again to consume.
Yeah.
So
One
Tyler,
of the interesting things, Morgan, I was going to say related to the last slide on just the why video, I just want to share something that might help the audience here, something else to write down on why does video work so well compared to other mediums? And I have a framework I call the 4 E's of video, for the letter E. The first E is that video is educational. And Morgan, you addressed it right off the top, and with respect to video is more memorable because the way we process visual information is different from text-based information. We can process visual and audible information much faster. We also store it in long-term memory compared to text we store in short-term memory. All of those are scientific facts. And so as a result, we can learn more from video, and we can also retain it longer and be more memorable with it. So that's the education piece. The second is that it is engaging, and it's because we can create a narrative. We can kind of use our body language, to your point, to tell a story, and we're hardwired to tap into that storytelling idea. And the last two are kind of intertwined, which is video can be emotional and also empathetic. So those are your 4 E's: educational, engaging, emotional, and empathetic. Emotion speaks for itself. And the empathy part is about being able to be human, to be able to talk to somebody as a peer. All of those things you can do so much more readily with video than you can with the written word. And that's why I get so fired up about this as well, because we're just not tapping into those things yet. And that's when you start to really see that value, when you go, if I can tap into those superpowers of video, I can crush it as a sales rep and stand out.
Yeah, I love the 4 E's, and I love how everyone is vibing to that right now, because it's big, right? You got to have a framework to execute. And we see all your questions in here. Some of these are going to be answered here in the conversation. So just hang tight and we'll definitely get to those. Tyler, you see this a lot: fear. A lot of people are afraid to get on video. They're like, hey, look, I'd rather send an email. I'd rather make a call. And so mindset, everything is about mindset shifts, right? So we're all on Zoom video calls. So you're already on video. Now you just have to translate that to sending a video to a prospect. The best way to think about this is the cold calls that you're already making. You're using the same formula and pretty much the same talk track, except now they just see your face. So it's as if you're having a conversation and they just receive back to it after they get that video. So for everyone who's like, I don't know about video, I don't want to do it, you're already making cold calls. That's already scary enough. Now all you're doing is you're putting a face to the voice, and now people can be like, oh, okay, I can relate to that person even more. And again, you can add your personality to it, because on the phone you can, but obviously the video takes it to the next level. So by able to do that, allows you to get that confidence. And then also role playing is key as well, because if you could role play, hey, I'm going to send my colleague a video, I'll have my manager check it. Maybe I send it to my executive team and they give me some feedback. That's another way to get better. You think about your cold calls, you think about your emails, the confidence you all have in prospecting and selling. The only reason you got confidence is due to practice, right? I always think about Steph Curry, he makes all these ridiculous threes, isn't because he was blessed with this ability and he was like, all right, you're gonna make all the threes in the world. A lot of that has to do with practice over and over and over again, where it becomes muscle memory. So I know someone asked a question, do you shoot from the hip? When you get comfortable, you get more comfortable to shoot it from the hip. But I do start off with a formula, which we're going to talk about here in a minute, to get more successful. And I know, Tyler, the screen share, I know Vidyard does a great job of that. And I know you want to dive more into that because that allows reps to be way more comfortable. So it isn't just then, they can show something that's relevant to the prospect.
Yeah, no, absolutely. I think it's, everybody's got their own comfort level to start when they get going with video. And like you said, and a lot of people have commented, as you do it more and more, just like anything else, you get more comfortable, you get more natural, and it becomes, kind of one of your own superpowers. But in those early days, absolutely, it can be a challenge for some people. So one option is to hit that record button, record your webcam, you're the star of the video, deliver your message, and get it out there. But the other option is to do a screen recording, either with your camera on in the corner as well, or you can turn your camera off if you really want to go to that length, and then you're just speaking audibly over a visual on the screen. And that can be not only a great way to sort of build your confidence, because now you're not feeling like you're the star of the show. You can rely more on whether it's something that's up in your browser. Maybe you could pull up a slide in a screen share. Maybe it's something online that you want to show. There's lots of different ways you can do it. And, but what's also great about doing the screen sharing is there's time and a place where that's actually even more effective than you just being on camera, because you can educate somebody more clearly, right? If you just want to, maybe one of your first touches in your cadence is, I want to introduce myself. The focus is on building the relationship. So I'm going to go webcam style, but for my next two videos in the sequence, I may want to be educating them a little bit more on, here's exactly how I can help you. Let me show you something where you can bring it up on the screen, which is something you just simply can't do effectively through voice or through email. So there's lots of different ways to use that, again, to not only get better and more confident, to take that fear away, but also to add value to your message, which I think is, again, just a super important idea.
Absolutely. And we have some questions that are coming here. I want to answer Connor's question because this goes back to what you were talking about, which is sending that video. Connor, my suggestion here is, Tyler will have his suggestion too, and then we'll move to the next slide, is to avoid that flagging of spam. Normally it tells, especially if you're targeting people in security and IT, to wait to use that video maybe as a second or third touch. The best way to get a feeler out there is to figure out, does this person have any heat on them? And so what that means is that if you have a sales off, outreach, groove, whatever you're using, it tells you how many views your email has. So what we did as a best practice when I was an SDR manager and we were just starting off with video, every single email that had over 2 views, we would move them to something called a video cadence. And then we would send that person a personalized video because we knew that they had some type of interest. Whether they were going to a meeting or maybe something else was happening, we knew if we sent them that video, it would have a higher response. So what we saw was a 70% open and a 27% response rate. Now, is that going to be for everybody? No, but that's an example of using that engagement to then send in another type of video.
Yeah, I think that's such a great approach. And I'll just add to that with some of the comments that I've seen, which I think are smart, is, first of all, when you are sending a video in these emails, let's be clear, everyone, for those who haven't done it, you're not actually attaching the actual video file, right? So you're not going to get caught as a big attachment. What you're doing when you're using a tool like Vidyard is you hit record, and then it automatically drops the thumbnail image for that video along with a link to go and watch it on a dedicated page. So generally what we see is that if somebody has images blocked, then nothing we can do about that. Then the thumbnail image for your video may not get through. Or if there's something related to them blocking external links, then again, you may be subject to that. As a result, always the best practice is make sure you're including both the thumbnail image as well as the text-based link to the video. And also make sure that you are introducing it and being descriptive, right? So it doesn't help to just send an email with just the video and no introduction to it, right? That's just not going to work. And sometimes it's going to look like nothing to the viewer or to the recipient. So make sure as you're sending these, you're also thinking about the subject line. You're thinking about that first introductory sentence and how you weave and create curiosity to click on that video. And I saw somebody note that they've been using Vidyard and sending videos quite a bit and aren't seeing a high click-through rate to watch the videos, which is frustrating. And I would certainly agree if I was in your shoes. So one of the things I'd encourage you to look at is, if you're able to track, are you seeing high open rates on the emails? Because if they're not opening the emails in the first place, then the video isn't your problem. It's, the subject line or whatever else it is. And if they are opening the emails but not clicking through on the video, again, look at how are you introducing the video. If you were receiving it, would you be curious enough or see enough potential value to click and watch? So you can't just rely on the thumbnail and the fact that it's a video. think about the whole structure of the subject, the introduction, which you may already be doing, but maybe review that, think about it, and feel free to hit me up directly on LinkedIn, and I'd be happy to review what you're trying and give you some ideas.
Absolutely. And I see all the questions coming through. Again, we're gonna get to all of those. So I see you guys. So prep, right? Some of you guys wonder, okay, we're over the fear. We know why we should be doing. How should we go about this? The key thing is where. All right. So something like this background, something like Tyler's background, normally you want something like a static background, something maybe that has just a white wall. You don't want anything crazy, right? So if you got people running in the background, dogs running in the background, that might not be the best thing unless it depends on your persona, right? But you want to make sure you have a static type of background, and you want to make sure that your conversation with the video is very fluid, and it's not something that's very scripted, because then you'll be able to be more of a flow when you do it. And we're going to talk about how you can stage that out. But also the differences between a tailored and a targeted video. So a tailored video is for those tier ones. So these are these accounts that you're like, I gotta penetrate into them. This is where you could work with your AE and do joint videos. I did that myself and they were highly successful. But again, for the tailored videos, these are for, I'm making it for you. This is completely customized. The targeted is what you can do at scale. So these are for those personas. You can make these and send them out. Depending on, again, your results, you can A/B test this. Everybody here in the chat is going to be different. You're from different industries and et cetera. But the tailored approach, those tier ones, the target approach for those personas. And it allows you to be way more personal because you're going to be able to articulate points with, again, more confidence and different inflection. And, you know, the last point here, I know Tyler will emphasize this more, is you can always re-record. This isn't you make one video and this is your last chance, right? So you can continuously practice with this. You can show it again to other managers and then go about that as well. So it's understanding how to use your screen share to your advantage, which is their LinkedIn profile, the website, or again, using how you would communicate with someone in person as well. Best way to think about a video is treat it as a virtual handshake. We won't be going to events for a while. We're not going to have a lot of face-to-face meetings. So the best way to treat video right now in the prep for it is like, this is just a virtual handshake, less than 90 seconds. And then that's how you'll see some success. I don't know, Tyler, you want to comment on that?
Yeah, no, I agree. There were some questions on length, and, you know, certainly when you are still in that phase of trying to get somebody's attention and get that response, keeping those videos, you know, absolutely less than 60 seconds. If those early ones can be closer to 30 to 45 seconds. And don't be shy to be explicit about that in your email as well, right? I've seen people have success by saying, here's a 30-second video to quickly introduce myself and explain exactly how I can help. And by doing that, people now go in with an expectation and they know they're not clicking on something that's going to be 5 minutes long, right? So keep it short, you know, help people understand this is something really quick to help, you know, add value to your day. And then the other thing with respect to prep, and it was kind of commented on earlier, but, you know, don't just go in and wing it every time. You know, go in with that sense for obvious things like you normally would do on a call is what is the goal? What is the desired outcome of this? How am I going to introduce myself? What's my conversation? And go in with confidence, knowing that you know what message you want to deliver and that you can do it with strength. Otherwise, yeah, you're going to be there recording 10, 15 times trying to get it right if you don't go in with a basic plan on what you're going to do.
Yeah. And then on top of that, someone asked a great question here, and Brian, and then also a lot of people are asking about subject line here, Tyler. So I'll give something that's been helpful for a lot of reps we've been training. Tyler has more data than I do, because obviously this is what he's doing day in and out. Ryan, so I'll answer your question, and I want you all to think about this. The video is like a movie trailer. The goal of a movie trailer is for you to be interested and equated awareness for you to be like, I want to go see a movie. So when you're prospecting, let's just talk about top-level prospecting here, right? Because this is the main goal of this conversation, the outcome. The movie trailer, I looked it up. The highly successful movie trailers are less than 90 seconds. Some of them maybe go a little bit more over that, but the most successful ones are less than 90 seconds. So the answer to your question, the videos that will be the most successful are the ones that are less than 90 seconds. And they're brief, they're concise, and again, they bring the value. And also on top of that as well, by creating that 90-second movie trailer from a prospecting perspective, and you have someone interested to be like, hey, I want to see more. When someone's interested in a movie trailer, they go see the movie. The movie is the sales call. It's the sales cycle. Because when you watch a movie, it tells a story. And then, you know, if we go beyond that, it's the cross-sell upsell. When they have Toy Story 4, 5, 6, and 7,000, they're probably going to make so many of them. It's going to be ridiculous. But the whole thing is that, like, you all should be thinking about the trailer. We all should be. When I send a video, it's like a movie trailer. Less than 90 seconds will have the highest conversion. And then I know I see another question on subject line. This subject line, for me, has been highly successful. So again, you can use this here. Is, let's say if I was sending Tyler a video like Tyler plus Morgan, a quick video for you. That one right there, clients are seeing 50 to 60% open rate. Yeah,
make sure when you send those, select to all panelists and attendees. It keeps defaulting us just to sending it to the panelists.
It does. My bad. See, Zoom. Here we go. Right. Boom. There you go. So you see this right here. Cool. And then the tailored question, I answered that. So that subject line right there, Tyler plus Morgan, a quick video for you. That is a way for you to get the 50% open rates. And then normally in the body of the email, I'll have, hi, whatever their name is. And I'll just say, I noticed, or I made, let's say if it was just a targeted approach, right? Not tailored. Hey, I made a quick video for you about how we can help your organization with X, Y, Z, whatever that is. And then all I say is, it's less than 90 seconds, I promise. The key reason why a lot of people don't watch the videos because they don't know how long it is. They think it's a 3, 4, 5 minute YouTube video you send them. So they're like, I don't know about this. So if you say, even if it's in the video, you just want to say it's less than 90 seconds, I promise. That way it's like, hey, I got 90 seconds. I can go watch it. And so that's the way I go about the videos that I send, and clients do the same thing. They keep them very short and concise. You don't want to give a lot of detail because then it detracts from people opening that video. But Tyler, I know there's a couple things that I mentioned that you probably want to add on.
Yeah, no, I think you nailed it with respect to kind of how to prep and get that interest in the video. And then, you know, we'll touch on this, but the thumbnail image itself also plays a role in driving that, you know, click through and engagement. You've got to create that level of interest initially visually to get them to click in. One other tip I want to give people, it's something to try. It doesn't always work, but I've seen it work really well for some, is when planning out your message, the call to action. Most of us are used to having our call to action in our emails be, can we book a meeting? Can we find some time? When sending a video, consider trying that, but also consider trying a call to action of, can I send you another video to show you A, B, or C? Because if that person chose to click and watch that first video, if you had two options and you said either let's book time for a meeting, or could I send you another video to show you what I mean, right? What do you think they're going to be more likely to respond, oh yeah, sure, to, right? Because that idea of, oh yeah, sure, send me another quick video to show me a demo of that, right? Now you as a sales rep, of course, you want to get them on the phone, and you may be like, I don't want to give them that option. Yeah. But could that like dramatically increase the response rate? Because somebody could go, yeah, sure, send me that demo video, right? And then what you do is, of course, your next, when you are sending them a really quick demo, but super short, right? And then it's just a teaser, it's still a movie trailer. But now at that point, you've brought them in, it's your second communication. They now feel more invested. They're gonna wanna watch that video because they said that they wanted it, right? They're gonna feel committed. They've seen your face, you're not just an email address, right? That 1-2 punch can work really, really well. Again, especially because you've already now seen that they're willing to invest in a video. Why not ask them to send another one as the next step? So one quick tip to try out.
Yeah.
Let's go right to the, I think our next is on the messaging, isn't it?
It is. This is it. So this is the key. All right. And again, all the questions you're answering, we're gonna get to them. We have the Q&A session at the end. But this right here is critical. And a lot of you guys are saying, okay, I'm not getting a lot of replies in IT and security and data. And I 100% get that. We train people in that all the time. And so where they see success is on the LinkedIn video. So real quick, we want to see how many people even know about this. Put a 1 if you've never heard about the LinkedIn video and you had no idea that you could do that. Send a direct LinkedIn video on Messenger. So a lot of people missing out.
I know.
a lot of people. Look how many people are missing out on this. Man, okay, I'm about to
Value add right there.
And I'm gonna change the game for some of y'all right here. All right, this is gonna be a huge value add for a lot of people, especially if you're targeting IT, security, and data. I'm about to give you the nugget here. All right, if you get nothing else today, this is the LinkedIn video. All right. So a lot of you guys right now are saying, hey, look, I can't get in front of these IT and security. Yes, it is a lot harder. Yes, they obviously have set up certain firewalls because that's their role. So we've been working with a lot of companies that are in security, in IT, reaching out to data. And what we found is that there's a higher reply rate with a LinkedIn video. Now, you can do the LinkedIn video through the desktop. You can add a Vidyard link in there, right? You can do it from the mobile, but this is gonna help increase your reply rates right here. So on LinkedIn, again, if you guys didn't know, you can go on your LinkedIn mobile in the bottom left, I believe, you click the plus sign, and then there's also a video that you can bring up and send to the prospect. Or again, you can just do your video and send it through LinkedIn. Now, your response rate on LinkedIn is going to be higher because they can put a face to the name easier because they can go to your LinkedIn profile and be like, this is a legit person. It's not random spam. And so when you're going about LinkedIn and you're looking to target these individuals, for all the people on this call right now that are IT, security, and data, go after these people, but don't add a personalized note. I know this is crazy what I'm saying right now, but I'm just setting you guys up for success. Send a blank note. Don't put anything in it. It has the highest connect rate in the industry right now. And I've talked to teams that are doing this, that are sending out videos via LinkedIn and are reaching out to IT and security. They'll connect with them. They wait 2 days later, and then they'll send that video. Now, what do they say in that video? Right? So here it is. 10, 30, 10. So this formula, if you follow this formula, it will help you be successful. It gives you a structure to go about this, right? 10, 30, 10. So in the first 10 seconds, conversational message. So what that is you notice something on the website, you're stating a problem that they have. It's some type of trigger, right? 30 seconds is relation to the problem. All that is your value prop or your elevator pitch that you would have. The last 10 seconds is a collaborative call to action. So that would mean open to learning more, interested in a deeper dialogue, etc. So a lot of people are like, okay, how would you say this video? So if I was sending Tyler a video, then this is the way to go about it. So I'm like, hi, Tyler. The reason for my video is I've been talking to a lot of VP of marketings as of late. And one thing that we've been seeing is some SDRs are starting to report up to them. And they're trying to figure out how do they make sure that they prospect effectively while still building the brand the right way that they want from the marketing side. So what we're doing is we're offering virtual sales training that's focused on messaging that you created as a marketer and turn that into sales ready messaging. So it allows them to spark net new conversations to prospect through this mess. So if that's relevant in any way and insightful, and you're open to learning more, feel free to reply back to this video. If not, completely understand. I'll send you some free resources on how we're helping VPs of marketing. So a lot of things I did there, right? So I stated the reason why I made the video. So it's the 4 elements here on top of the 10, 30, 10. And then I'll let Tyler comment on from a buyer's perspective. And I know he's got even more data on the structure here. So I say, hey, this is the reason for the video.
Yep.
Here's what I'm stating. I have a sticky note of it, right? Here's the reason of the trigger of the persona, right? That I'm reaching out to. Here's the value prop, and then there's the call to action. So if you have that piece in your video, allows you to deliver that framework better and then get that response.
Yeah, I love this. I think it's super smart, and it reemphasizes the fact that, you know, a minute or less, a number of people are saying even that 90 seconds feels long, and what you did here and what you just went through, you know, that was well under 60 seconds, and I think was very clear, very crisp. And, you know, you can't underscore enough how important that introduction is, because again, as somebody clicks play, one of the problems, and, you know, I don't say this very often, one of the problems with video, right? Because video isn't a perfect medium. Its biggest challenge is it isn't skimmable like an email text is, right? Email copy is. And so you have to be a little bit more nuanced in how you deliver your message. And that first 5 to 10 seconds, right? Just like a YouTube pre-roll ad is really, really important to make sure you draw them in. And now once you've drawn them in, anybody who stays more than 10 seconds is very likely to stay until almost the end of the video, right? Most of your drop off will happen in that first 5 to 10 seconds. So practice that. be very good at pulling them in and creating that curiosity and that interest. And then exactly this formula of then, really focusing in on that problem. Don't be shy to introduce yourself as well, right? If, a great part of using video here is to build that personal rapport. Just don't spend too much time on it. Don't spend 30 seconds talking about your favorite hobbies.
Exactly.
It's, because again, most people, it may work 1 in 10 times because, you might catch somebody who that's their vibe, but more often than not, it won't. But the last thing that I will also note on this is just like any other prospecting messaging, as much research as you can do on that individual is great. And if you can try to get a feel for their persona, not just structural persona, but their personal vibe, right? Like from their social content and from the things they're putting out there. If they seem like a very casual person, if they're, posting stuff about their favorite music on LinkedIn, right? That's a bit of a cue that you could probably be a little bit more personal and very conversational, maybe even a little bit fun. If you're going after an executive who, has a very formal profile online, you could try that as a way to be a little bit different, but more often than not, you're going to want to stay more focused on message, very quick to the point. So figure out how you can match their persona and style with your body language and the way you deliver your messages.
Absolutely. And Jeff, what I was talking about there is it's a blank note. So you're not putting anything in there at all. So you're just sending a blank note.
It's just the connection request with no note.
With no note. So it's not.
I agree. Every time I see a note, I'm like, all right, what are you trying to sell me? Right?
Yeah.
But when I just get the connection request, 9 times out of 10, I accept it and I move on because I feel like I'm building my network.
Exactly. And then also a lot of you guys, if you look back at this, a lot of you put ones. You guys have never seen the LinkedIn video before. So if I send a LinkedIn video and you've never seen it, it's what a lot of the stuff we're talking about right now, which is a pattern interrupt. It completely interrupts your pattern and you're like, wait, what the heck? Like, what is that? So that's the key thing. And then what do I ask as follow-up? And we're going to get into being efficient with video here. And again, all the questions you are asking is great. We're going to get to them in the Q&A here in a minute.
Yep.
In terms of the follow-up, I wait 2 days later if it's a LinkedIn video as a best practice. And then 1 day after if it's an email video. And all I say is, hi, Tyler, any feedback on my video? That's it. And the reason I say feedback is because everyone else is doing any thoughts, blowing us back up to the top. That's annoying persistence. Like nobody wants that. But if I say any feedback, you're going to give me positive feedback. Like, yo, hey, Morgan, that was a great video. Let's talk. Neutral feedback. Okay. Like I haven't watched it yet. I'll watch it in a week. Negative is like, I'm not interested, but we all know we want an answer in terms of our prospecting in some form or fashion. Again, whether it's a yes or no, that's fine. I know at least that there is an answer there and I know how to handle that moving forward. But asking any feedback from a psychology standpoint gets you more responses than asking the other things.
I love that, Morgan. And you know what? I'm going to drop another tip that I've seen work for a lot of people that's directly related to that is once you've sent your video, don't be shy to make that phone call. And that could be shortly after, or it could be that 2 days after. And when you get voicemail because they don't pick up, your voicemail is going to be, hey, Morgan, it's Tyler from Vidyard here. I sent you a video the other day to introduce myself and explain what, some things I might be able to help with. Let me know if you have any feedback on that when you get a chance. And that is, we found our reps, when they're leaving a voicemail saying, I sent you a video, can you check your email and let me know what you think? Their response rates on those are very, very high. And I think it's because people hear that and they're like, wait a minute, you sent me a video? Like, that's still very novel, right? People aren't getting videos from sales reps yet. And so that expectation of value goes way up. And they go, wow, this isn't just any other sales rep. They took the time to record me a video. Exactly. And I should go and watch it, right? And, not all the time, right? But often that will work. So think about following up your video with a voicemail that specifically, did you watch my video and could I get some feedback on it? And I think that could really help.
Absolutely. And then being efficient with video. So Tyler, a lot of people are asking this question right now, and I want you to answer it here. And this will go right into what you're talking about is subtitles and Vidyard. Is this something you all are thinking about? A lot of people are putting that in there right now.
Yeah. So you talk about like captioning on your video so somebody can, Yeah, so somebody can read the video without having to turn on the volume or whatever, or just for accessibility purposes. So we actually do support captioning in the paid versions of our product. So the free Vidyard, you can record and send unlimited videos and do some basic things with it. With our Pro version, which is $19 a month, you unlock the ability to add captions. So after you record the video, right on the page that the video is on, you can request captions and it will immediately generate captions for you, which you can turn on. And you can also do things like add calls to action to the ends of your videos. You can custom brand the pages they play back on. So lots of those little things that really help that overall experience. So yeah, those are things to look for in frankly, the upgrades to the product. So if you do start to see success, frankly, I think 20 bucks a month is a steal to be able to start to do some of those things. Because I absolutely think, captioning the videos can go a long way and be very, very helpful. Yeah. And let me segue into this slide here, which Absolutely. Is something I'm really passionate about, which, I hear a lot from our customers who start using Vidyard. They start seeing some success, but they're not quite sure how to scale it and be really efficient with video because they feel like, geez, every lead, I feel like I'm recording a new video and it's taking a lot of time. And it's important to remember that you don't have to record a new video for every single lead you want to send messaging to, right? Just like email templates, I think it's the last point on here. Think about recording some, pre-canned videos that aren't necessarily fully personalized, but you can use them for those tier 3, tier 4 leads that you want to send a video to, but you don't want to spend the time to create something custom. So I might create a general video. That's my intro video. And it goes a little bit something like, hey, it's Tyler from Vidyard here. Well, I'm not sure what it would be because I'm not actually a sales rep. So let's just pause it there. But I'll create something that's my intro video. Or maybe I'll create a video that answers one of the most common questions I get during the sales process. And I'll start dripping those into my feeds to those people and not have to re-record them each time. So it gives me a way to scale that usage. A couple of other tips on here, like grab a screenshot of this, take it away. But you can do personalization at the account level, which is what a lot of our reps do. So if they were going after JV sales, they would record a video saying, hey, team at JV Sales, Tyler at Vidyard here. I know you guys are doing a lot of great things with video, but did you know A, B, and C? Would love to chat more. And in the thumbnail image of that, I'm looking around, I don't have anything, but they might, hold up something that's personal for them that, says like how we can help JV Sales. And then they'll send that to Morgan, they'll send it to James, they'll send it to John, they'll send it to multiple people at that account. And then, wait for the notifications to see who actually watched it. And then they'll see Morgan watched it for 5 seconds, John watched it all the way for a minute. I'm going to follow up with John and send him a personal video now because he seems most engaged. So little tips like that you can do to make sure you can scale more efficiently with video, just like you scale with email templates and phone templates.
Absolutely. And then I'll add to this, and then I know we have a lot of questions incoming, Tyler. So we're just going to go straight to Q&A because we got people that want to get their questions answered. Make sure you do dedicate time to the time blocks. Those are key. We operate in a singular view. If we're like, hey, we'll make 30 minutes for videos, an hour for videos, it allows you to be way more effective. And then just as Tyler was talking about, reach out to multiple people, maybe in an account, right? To get that awareness going. But make sure that, again, to emphasize on this, you're doing time blocks because it's going to allow you to do videos way more effectively. And when you do them, be like, hey, I want to do 10 videos in 30 minutes. I want to do 20 videos in an hour. I still do it to this day. When I want to commit to videos, I'm like, I have a time block for them. So I don't feel like I'm overwhelmed and I can get the responses that I'm looking for. Right. And so that's the way to be efficient with video. And we're about to hop into the Q&A here. This is just one thing that we want to share with you all. Next week, I and James and I are going to be focusing on deeper on video prospecting. So we gave you like the high level, we've been a little bit tactical, but we're going to go even deeper than what I just talked about today. So I know you guys have a lot of different questions. We're going to be showing you how to go about this, examples. We'll play videos as part of the training. We can't do that right now on this webinar, but if you want, again, some deeper access here, screenshot this. You're going to get a 50% discount on the live cast that we have going on next week. So if you want to be a part of that full day training, all your information's right here, and then you can dive right into it. Now Q&A. All right, so I'm going to get out of here, and we're going to start answering some of your questions. So let's get into it. So let's see. So the question is, are videos more effective in some industries versus others? Tyler, what do you think about that? And then I'll give my take there.
I mean, I think it works in every industry. It was touched on earlier that there are some industries that are like very security centric, where it can be a little bit more difficult and you might have to get a bit more creative. Maybe use LinkedIn as another channel to reach people in addition to email, because they may have blocks up. Otherwise, I think it can work everywhere, and it's about how you just use the power of it to create something that's relatable to people on the other side. Don't also fall into the trap to think of, oh, video will only work for the practitioners, but not executives. I've seen lots of data from lots of users that have said that, at every level it works. It's just a matter of adapting your style and your messaging to those personas, just like you would for an email or a phone call. What do you think, Morgan?
Yeah, at the end of the day, what I tell people is humans are humans, right? So you saw the stat from Vidyard, 82% of people, right, for the video perspective, 1/3 of people watching video now. Your dad, your grandma, right? They all have watched a movie or Netflix. So when someone says, hey, is that person just on a video? It's like, hey, do they watch TV? So it's the same thing. They're going to respond to that video. Now, the way you do it in that message is different, right? And you got to get granular there. And that's a different conversation, right? In terms of how does that message look? But I say, hey, video will get responses from people. I have people in IT and security that are doing very well with video right now because they do a lot of screen share and they get those responses. Is it going to be harder in IT and security? For sure. Is it going to be harder in some regions? For sure. But are you going to get a response if you try it out? You will, based on the ongoing things that you would make sure that you're saying to that prospect. So that would be my answer there. Tyler, this is a question for you. Ever have the opportunity to allow for mirror view for the camera? I love Vidyard to bits, but it messes me up, especially when doing a screen share as well.
Oh, mirror view. Yeah, it's funny. I haven't heard that because most people, it works as expected. But I know our team right now is actually working on a bunch of things with respect to the UI. Don't tell anybody I told you this. They haven't announced it yet, but we're very soon be launching the ability to move the bubble around the screen. So if your camera shows up in the corner and it's covering something, you want to move yourself to the other corner, move it up. That's going to be coming very soon. And some other functionality to be able to customize some of those viewing or recording capabilities. So let me check back on the mirror view one. I personally don't hear it myself, so I'll check with our product team and hopefully get you an answer.
Cool. All right, and then in terms of the promo there, we got the ops on that. And then let's see. How long do you recommend videos to be? Less than 90 seconds. I answered that right there. Length of video. Again, don't make a YouTube video here. That was my biggest mistake when I started out. Guys, less than 90 seconds. Again, the 10-30-10, follow that right there. Let's see what other questions we have. And again, if you guys ask questions in the chat, ask them through the Q&A so I can look at it. Oh, this is actually super important. Do I look straight into the camera? So yes, you do. People miss out on this. And I might've been obviously looking around as I was in the chat, but when you're speaking, you want to speak to the camera, right? It's when you look someone in the eye, you want to make sure you have that conversation, right? You're not like looking down at them because that seems like you're nervous. So make sure that you're looking in the camera. And then other pieces, make sure that you smile. All right. People miss out on this as well. At the beginning of the video, they look like Snape and they look like they're sad and they're frowning, and it really doesn't work out. All right. So make sure that you're smiling at the beginning of your video so that you look like a welcoming person that somebody wants to talk to. So I know, Tyler, if you want to add
Get
more
that energy, right? Like, and I'm
so
like,
key.
I tell our own guys and I do this, like before you hit record, right? Like do this, right? Like stand up if you need to. I am wearing pants. Don't worry, everybody. Stand up if you need to, get that positive energy. Like you said, smile before you hit that record button, and it will make such a difference. The other thing I encourage people to do, much like when you're presenting to an audience and they say like, picture them naked or something like that, is don't picture your audience naked, but pretend you're speaking to a friend or a colleague or a loved relative, right? Try to keep it conversational and get into that feel, right? I actually, when I'm recording an important video, I intentionally get myself in that mindset and I go, okay, I'm stretched down, I'm feeling good, I'm smiling. And then I think about one of my buddies that I would go and have a drink with, and I pretend that I'm speaking to them. And it genuinely, at least for me, helps me talk more naturally, helps me be more conversational. Again, I think that goes such a long way to making these just feel really authentic and genuine. And that's a big part of the success of video, is because it really does feel authentic and genuine when it's done right. And that's like 50% of the battle with getting a response. So think about those tips, and again, look into the camera. If your camera's in a weird place on your laptop, hopefully you don't have one of those laptops where the camera's like in the bottom left corner or something like that. Super annoying. Ideally, get an external webcam that you can pop on top of your monitor, get a little bit better quality, right? And you can get, they're inexpensive. You can get them for, under $100. Get decent headphones, because audio is important. And the last thing is your lighting, right? It goes a long way to have, lighting from the front. So I try, you can always remember height and light, height of your camera and light from the front. Those make a big difference, because nobody wants the up the nostril video either, right?
Yeah.
That was just super awkward for all of you.
Yeah, it's like, hey guys,
imagine your prospects.
That's not gonna work.
So height of your camera and light, height and light, height and light. You got it? Do it.
Love it, love it. So Greg asked, I'll answer this one real quick. He said, if you upload a video and send it to someone, do you still get the performance insights? You do not. So if you upload it mobile, you're not going to get the insights. You will see someone, like a little avatar normally on the bottom right. It'll be like, hey, it'll show you that it was viewed, but that's pretty much it on that end. So you don't get the insights there. Any recommendations on a good camera, Tyler? I know if you want to answer that one.
I mean, we all use Logitech webcams, and again, there are $50 ones, there are $150 ones. You don't have to go overboard. I think anything that's, all of them pretty much support 1080p, and they often have a little light integrated into them to give you a little bit of extra front light. So that's what we all use. But just hit up Amazon, and again, don't spend more than $100 or $150, and rock and roll with it.
Cool. Any virtual backgrounds? I haven't done any virtual backgrounds. I mean, if you have a virtual background that maybe have a certain persona that would lean on that, I would probably say marketers, right? Tyler would probably more so would like the virtual background than maybe another persona, maybe sales, but I don't know what your thoughts are there. I've never done a virtual background. I've kept it just either regular background or just a screen share.
Yeah, I'm personally not a big fan, but again, that's a personal taste. I don't see a lot of people doing it. I think it can come off the wrong way if not done well. It certainly can, be eye-catching, but I think today, especially as people are using them on Zoom more and more, I think actually it's kind of becoming a bit of a, and I probably wouldn't do it, but.
Yeah.
Thanks.
So we got we answered a lot of the camera questions you guys coming in. We also see, I'm going through your questions.
I'll go quickly one. There's one here with HubSpot, and is there any integration with the CRM? So with Vidyard, you can record and send a video, and it was sort of alluded to in one of the questions earlier, but yes, you will get real-time notifications when you send the Vidyard link via email or LinkedIn. You'll get a notification to say, Morgan watched your video, and he watched it 80% of the way through. Again, you don't get those kind of notifications if you upload natively to LinkedIn, was alluded to earlier. Now with the free version, you get those basic notifications. With our business tier, I believe it was Ed who asked that question, we do integrate back into HubSpot, so that viewing data will get pushed into CRM. So you'll track and know, oh, Morgan watched this video, then he watched this video. It will get stored in HubSpot, but that does require our business teams package, which obviously has a monthly cost. So feel free to check out our website, and you can learn more about that.
Cool. All right. Let's see. The challenge is the technique when recording. So I understand that question. I guess in terms of technique there, really at the end of the day, make sure that you're not waving your hands too much. I would definitely say that. I have been falling victim of that, where I'm like all over the place in terms of hands. So I've had to adjust to that. And then again, making sure you're looking at the camera, right? Making sure you're following the 10-30-10. I just want to rephrase that because that's important there. Dylan asked a question about library of videos.
All right. What's the question?
Says, what does that? Yeah, Dylan, it's in the chat. So he says, you mentioned creating a library of videos for a targeted approach. What does that intro look like if it's directed towards one prospect and is much more broad?
Yeah. So what a lot of our reps will do is actually our marketing team equips them with a library of pre-canned videos that they can use. Obviously, it's not them in the videos. They're more of like just sort of off-the-shelf ones that are, have some common topics addressed. But what they'll more often do is they'll record their own versions of 5 or 6 different sort of standard videos that they want to have messaging around. And then they'll be in their library that at any point they can just click it and send it off. And so they'll do things like the Vidyard intro video, and it's the like, hey, it's Tyler from Vidyard here. I just wanted to give you a quick overview on, what kind of problems we can help solve for people like you. They're usually persona based, so they know if they're going after somebody. For example, we sell to salespeople, so they'll have one for their sales persona. That's a general, hey, it's Tyler from Vidyard here. As a seller, you probably are, really struggling to stand out right now and boost your response rates. Vidyard's actually got some really interesting solutions for that to make it easy for you to record and send videos that can really get people's attention. If you're interested in learning more, I would love to chat, right? So that's just like, that's my standard message for a sales rep as one of my personas. I'd have that video at the ready, and I would send those to my tier 3 or 4 leads that fit that persona. But a tier 1 or 2 lead, or somebody that looks like really hot, I'm going to record them a custom one, similar messaging, but I'm going to say their name. I'm going to do something a little bit more personal in the thumbnail to maximize my chances. So hopefully that gives you a good idea, but it might be, yeah, that's sort of just the value prop for some of your key personas, and have those at the ready for those sort of lower tier leads that you may not want to spend the time creating a new one every time.
Awesome. And some people asking, that's what I normally put in the body of my email. Again, that's my framework, and then I customize around that framework. So that's the templated version, and then around that I'll add personalization. So right. I just added that in there so you guys can use it. If you guys are not finding people clicking on your video, that's a way to start, and that's what we normally train people on. Yep. So Thomas asks, how about incorporating PowerPoint with video?
Yeah, so that's where, so a lot of people will use Vidyard with the screen recording capabilities. So what you'll do there is you can start up a PowerPoint or a Google Slides. And again, with Vidyard, you can record, and you can record your screen or your browser tab with or without your camera on in the corner as well. So I see people doing that, absolutely. So later on in the deal cycle, we often see AEs that will record with slides up to explain, maybe walk through a sales proposal. They might walk through some information that they covered in a meeting that they want to share with an account to send around. For sales development reps early on in the process, we usually see them using a slide deck if they want to put some visual up on the screen that they wanted to be very specific. And so like what our reps will do sometimes is they might go to somebody's website and grab a screen capture of a part of their site, or they'll grab their logo and put it in a slide with a little plus and then the Vidyard logo. Or again, they might do something like that. So then they've got a nice clean slide with something on it that's relatable and contextually relevant for that prospect. Hit record and deliver their message. But they're usually not like clicking through slides and doing a 5-minute presentation. That's like AE's end of the sales process kind of stuff. For early stage sales development, stay away from that. And if you're using slides, like 1 or 2 max, and make sure it's adding value to the conversation.
Yeah, so two approaches of video. Either, again, this one we're in right now, which is, hey, it's just me, or as Tyler saying, a quick product reel demonstration of maybe something on your PowerPoint slide and referencing something. So then you could talk over that and provide commentary. And then that link promo code should be good now for everybody. And then this is like this question from Tara. When reps send videos, do you encourage them to include any hyperlinks to other content, or what is your best practice for the format of the written message? So Tara, what I put in there is the format of the written message. I wouldn't add any other hyperlinks because you already have the video. So you can send a hyperlink for content in the future, but you don't want to put a hyperlink when you already have the video there. But I'll see, Tyler, I want to hear from your perspective what you're seeing.
Yeah, I would agree with that. I think when you're sending the video, make that the hero, because you really want them, like you're trying to drive them to watch the video because it's a win-win scenario. It's better for you if they watch the video than if they go and download the document or whatever else. Because when they watch your video, it builds that human rapport, right? Like they feel like they know you after they've watched it, and it's a lot harder for them to say no. In fact, we've had a number of customers who have reported that they have much higher show rates on future calls booked when somebody watches the video, right? And so when they watch the video, they set up a meeting, they're seeing, more than, 60 or 70% show rate to the call, whereas when previously they were seeing, 30 to 40%. And I genuinely believe the reason is that when they watch the video, they see you as a real person, They connect with you. You're no longer just a name or an email address. And there's guilt, right? There's guilt to not showing up to that call because you've connected with them as a real person. So I think, again, try to get them to watch that video as your main call to action. And if they don't, absolutely, your next email could include a link to something different, and then maybe 2 or 3 comms down the road, another quick email to see if that piques their interest.
Cool. Josh, you know, you asked a question about the software engineering DevOps success there. I personally haven't, because I don't reach out to that persona, but clients we talk to, they see success in terms of video. Tyler, you probably have clients that do the same thing. Want to hear your feedback as well. I've heard positive results when they do it a certain way.
In groups like that, I find doing screen share style videos actually work really well for like dev kind of teams, like R&D organizations, folks that actually, you know, maybe tend to be more information centric, and actually sending them a screen share video where you're clearly explaining something to them, that can go a long way. So I try both with that persona, the webcam style video, as well as like bring up a diagram on your screen and go, hey, it's Tyler from Vidyard here. I just wanted to show you exactly the workflow for using a tool like ours and how it can help. And sometimes people like that will really geek out on that, right? They'll see that diagram and they'll be like, oh my God, this is so cool, right? So think about using those kind of tactics with that kind of persona.
So another question is call to actions that are effective at the end of the video. Add a Calendly link, add maybe a time trade, Chili Piper. What's the best practices there? I know, like I mentioned to you guys earlier, I just say, hey, are you open to learning more? Are you interested in a deeper dialogue? That seems to be going really well for me right now and other people that have been doing this because of the climate that we're in. I just made it frictionless, made it super easy to have a conversation with. So that's what I've seen to be successful in terms of the call to action on that end.
Yep, love that.
Cracking your knuckles in the video. I don't know. Maybe you're reaching out to fighters or something. Like maybe you want to crack your knuckles. I have no stats on that. So
I go the other route, and I just like hold up the picture from my daughter to immediately let them know I've got kids. I have mouths to feed here. Let's play the sympathy card as opposed to the threatening card. So I actually think don't be shy to let your kids run around in the background. It might help you accelerate a deal. You never know.
Bring a dog in.
Yeah, only if they're sad looking, right? They're like really kind of like I haven't been fed in like 3 days kind of look.
Exactly. So Tim asked this question on when starting your video. What is your thought on rapport?
Oh yeah, I mean it's a good question. I think it's, you know, you got 5 or 10 seconds, as I said earlier, to kind of get them pulled into the story and wanting to keep hearing from you. I do think it's important to quickly introduce yourself, right? And use your personal personality, use your body language quickly so they start to get a feel for who you are. Don't be that one that's sitting here, arms crossed, not smiling, saying, hey, it's Tyler from Vidyard here. And then it's like 5 seconds and they're like, I'm done, right? But if I'm like, hey, it's Tyler from Vidyard here, you know what? I am so excited to talk to you because A, B, and C, right? Maybe that's my personality, is I like to be energetic. Maybe not everybody does, but think about what is that and use that. Use your personality to build that rapport. It's not just what you say, it's how you say it. And back to Morgan's point right at the beginning, was so much more than 50% of the information we take in is based on body language. So don't be sitting like this. Get up here, be interactive, let your body language help build that rapport for you. And again, just, you know, speak clearly and focus on that.
So standing up, someone said sitting down or standing up. Which one do you suggest there too?
Yeah, it's to each his own, right? I think try both, see what works for you. If you have a desk that supports the ability to stand and do them, I love doing videos standing up. It can be taxing if you're doing a lot of them, so it depends on your nature. But that certainly does help. If you find yourself in a bit of a rut, do that. Stand up, see if you can use that, and it can help you with your body language as well. Absolutely, I love that.
Cool. I know we're at these questions are still flying in, Tyler. I know I got like 10 minutes left, and we can still go through them, and then we'll pop out of here, guys. But Tyler, this is some questions for you. Some people are asking about the Android app. Does it work for Vidyard? And then how do you look at video performance insights on the Vidyard site in terms of the pro edition? So some questions for you here. The lobby your way.
Yeah. So really quick. So today we have our when you're recording on your desktop, we have a Chrome plugin, a Gmail plugin, an Outlook plugin, and then plugins directly into SalesLoft, Outreach, Mixmax, a number of other sales tools. For mobile, we have an app for iOS, so for iPhones and iPads, and that can be used for mobile. We do not yet have an Android app, but I will stress the yet. you can absolutely expect that to see that coming soon. I don't have a date for you right now, but it is something the team is 100% committed to. So we will see an Android app soon. On the other question related to some of the data and analytics and value of the bigger solution. So when you start for free, you can record unlimited videos, you get notifications directly as an individual who's watching what. As you move up to the paid tiers, some of the biggest benefits are, first, you can start to custom brand the playback experience. So it's no longer a Vidyard branded page. You would now have your company logo, your calls to action, and it feels like a part of your organization. You can add custom calls to action to the ends of your videos to drive somebody to a Calendly or Chili Piper or something like that. And then you also start to enable data to be tracked back centrally. And we also connect back into Salesforce. So you can actually have all the viewing data across all of your different sales reps using the tools flowing back into Salesforce, where you can track centrally who's watching which videos, how long are they, and you can use those insights to trigger actions. And then finally, you get some centralized reporting as an admin. So as maybe a sales manager or a sales leader, you can actually go in and you can see data on which reps are sending how many videos, what's their average engagement time in their videos. You can go into their accounts and spot check their content, right? So it brings it all together into a business account, whereas a sales leader, you can now manage your reps using it more effectively than the free version, which is just a bunch of isolated users. So hopefully that makes sense. Again, please just drop us a chat on our website if you want to learn more. I'm sure somebody would be more than happy to give you a demo.
Yeah,
maybe.
Well, hope so, right? Maybe. I don't know. Maybe we don't know. All right, cool. I mean, we got like 7 minutes here. We can still. Will this sessions be recorded since the attendees? You know, if you ask that question, I'm not going to answer that. I had a whole.
You're not getting the recording now. You're not getting the recording.
Exactly. We're actually blocking you from getting the recording now. Tara, yeah. I mean, we will definitely go through, and we might. I don't know if Tyler's up for it. We might have another Q&A just on video, right? Because there's so many questions here that we might not even get time to do. This is actually a really good question from Cody. Do you recommend sending videos for only prospecting or another way of communication with existing clients? It's not just for prospecting. A lot of the stuff we talked about today was for prospecting, but it could be for existing clients, cross-sell, upsell. It's another great way to communicate. And again, a lot of the meetings you might have been having were in person and going to the on-site with the client. So anytime that there's an objection, anytime that there is someone where it's a problem, I would create the video to, again, lead with empathy. All the time, if someone has an objection with me in the sales cycle, I always answer with a video to articulate my points than if they don't want to hop on a call. So it's another thing you can use in your toolbox when you're facing a difficult situation and you need to maybe amplify that message a little bit. Video is a great way to go with existing clients, people you're working to close deals with, and also obviously prospecting.
Yeah, I mean, one of the really cool things with Vidyard is it puts the button right inside of your Gmail or Outlook. And so anytime you're going to send an email to somebody, right, any point through the sales process, you can just hit record your message and send it. And once you actually get comfortable with it, it's actually a faster and easier way to communicate with your customers, right? And again, it puts your face out there consistently so you stay top of mind. So it's actually, a great way to follow up on questions, send a post-meeting recap. We also see a lot of sales reps using it to send sales proposals. So instead of just sending a DocuSign and a PDF order, they'll actually record themselves walking through the sales order so that they can clearly articulate the value and make sure that if that person is forwarding it around to other people in the buying committee, they can watch the video and hear you explain what it is you're getting and why you're getting it and not leave anything to be lost in translation. So lots of things like that it can be used for 100%.
Awesome. And then let's get a couple more questions here. Tyler, someone's asked you about a playbook. Don't know if that's something that someone maybe can hit you up on LinkedIn about and you can dive into that. But he asked about, do you guys have a playbook for Vidyard videos?
Yeah, I mean, we've got a lot. I would start, your best place to start is go to vidyard.com and on our resources tab, you'll see the video sales guide or definitive guide to selling with video, something like that. Resources right there. And it is a full ungated online guide of how to sell with video. And it talks about using video in prospecting, using it throughout the sales cycle. Lots of tips there for styles of videos that you can use. A lot of the things we covered here are addressed in that online guide. So again, vidyard.com, click on resources, check on our video for sales guide. So much goodness in there, and have at it.
Cool. Dylan asked a good question. Do you ever automate the sending of these video messages as a first touch for whenever a customer signs up for either a demo, event, or scheduled meetings? It's a really great question. I personally have never done that before. So Tyler,
Yeah, I love it for, we often talk about it as part of the outbound process because we're trying to break through the noise, but I find it to be just as, if not more important for inbound lead follow-up. And I know we do this all the time, whether it's an automated video of a rep or it's something that, again, that inbound rep that's following up, that they're responding with a video. And sometimes what you'll do there is you might actually record a screen share that shows something related to the actions that person took. So for example, if a lead came into an SDR because that person attended a webinar, right? What that SDR might do is go to that webinar landing page, hit record with their face on in the corner and the webinar page up, and use that as contextual relevance. And they'll say, you know, hey, Thomas, it's great to see you at the webinar. Great to see you attended this webinar. I'd love to follow up more because it sounds like you might be interested in A, B, or C. Would love to chat, right? So things like that you can do to absolutely work it into that inbound lead flow. And for sure, you could have, you know, an automated one that includes your reps as an automated trigger. 100%, no reason that you wouldn't want to do that.
Yeah, that's great insights. I've never done before in my teams or before. So again, that's something to definitely pay attention to. And we got Tyler, there's so many questions here. Like,
so many great questions.
I don't know if there's one that you want to pick out. I know I've been picking them, but.
Oh man, I'm just looking. I'm not looking at the chat. I'm looking at the Q&A.
Yeah.
I saw one here that I can I can sort of answer. It's how does Vidyard differ from Hippo Video and Loom? There are a number of solutions out there for doing these kinds of motions of recording and sending videos in the sales process. One of the a few big things that we focused on here on Vidyard, one is seamless integration with the tools you use today. So we plug right into not only Chrome, but Gmail, Outlook, Salesloft, Outreach, a lot of the other tools your team may be using with simple integrations into those tools that make it natural. We also have the most enterprise grade backend when you start to connect your team together and say, I've got 10 different reps who are using the tool. On the back end, you're going to get much richer data from us because we've been doing this for 10 plus years as a video platform, as well as then again, native integrations back into tools like Salesforce, richer dashboards for managing your users, and also the ability to share other video content with your sales reps. So when you connect up in the business tier of Vidyard, a sales rep not only has the ability to record and send their own, but you can give them access to your library of other videos, your customer case studies, your product demos, whatever it is, and they can use those as part of their outreach as well. They can even create custom playlists. So I'll be like, I'll record a quick intro, and then I'll add this customer case study video as a part of it. So lots of neat things like that. Again, just head on over to Vidyard, and I have no doubt somebody will be able to chat further on that kind of stuff.
Yeah, and then we'll get one more. And then again, if you guys have more questions, just hit up us on LinkedIn. We'll put our links here so you guys can ask us direct questions because there's a lot. We could be here all day, but we got meetings, right? So we wish we could be here all day and answer questions, but we got to move on to the next thing. Last thing is, this is just a last note to go on is video taking over voice messages on LinkedIn? Thoughts? So Oscar, my answer to the question is yes, because video is something that's easier to relate to than the voice message. And I truly believe that the LinkedIn video is going to be something that executives will pay more attention to because they're used to getting the emails and the calls, and that LinkedIn video message is going to create more attention for you. And it's going to make you stand out if you can articulate it. Because again, it's just like I said, a virtual handshake. But if you're not ready to take it to the next level, do a video, the voice message is a good training wheels to get yourself prepared to do the video. And that's my take on that. And then Tyler, I want to see what your thoughts are.
Totally agree. And I think to your point, the voicemails can be a good way to get that rhythm going of delivering your message in that medium. And then the only other thing I would add to it is when you are using those videos, don't forget about the advantages that come along with doing a video, right? Don't necessarily just make it what I would have said in the voicemail, but narrating it to the camera. Be conscious of, again, get your body language in there. Use the 4 E's of video: educational, engaging, empathetic, emotional, right? Pick one of those or two of those and make your video more valuable. That's the real win, is when they get more value out of watching your video than they would have listening to a voicemail or reading an email. So think about that. How are you giving them more value through the video? And that's when you win.
Absolutely. Well, for those of you who are still, we got like 200 strong here. I appreciate you guys. We do got to hop out of here. And again, if you have questions for us, hit us up on LinkedIn. Tyler, I don't know if you want to drop your LinkedIn in there just so people can know where to find you, because I know there was a lot of Vidyard questions here, but Tyler will be able to answer that for you. Again, we gotta hop out of here. I'll add mine in here if you guys want to connect with me. Tyler, I know you can drop yours in there so people know where to find you. And again, we appreciate you guys hopping on here, asking great questions. I mean, I have so many questions in this Q&A, like it's insane. So we might come back. I don't know. We might get around 2 if you guys are feeling that. That would be, fun to do again. But again, thanks so much for showing up, guys. And if you have any additional questions for us, hit us up on LinkedIn. And then if you want to see this again, Tyler, we'll test the crowd here. Put a 5 if you would want to do maybe an additional Q&A session with Tyler and I, because it sounds like a lot of people are getting value here. Tyler, look at these 5s, man. They want it back. They want a rerun.
This is great. Well, you know what we're going to do next time? Next time, I want to invite a couple of other active users to help answer these questions.
For sure.
I know you use this stuff yourself and you train a lot of people. I do as well, but it might be nice to get a couple people from a couple other industries who are also seeing success with it and what their tips are. So would love to do this. Thanks. And thanks everybody for being so engaged in this. This has been a terrific audience. A lot of fun for us. It's been great. Thank you.
Awesome. Well, again, I appreciate you guys. Connect with us on LinkedIn if you have further questions, ones that didn't get answered. And you guys have a fantastic day, and hope you guys have fun making videos.